thing that I am probably the only person that's been in both of the 2 War Games matches we have ever done.
Yeah, and you're a War Games veteran, and I know this one has been brewing up, and we got some exciting matches before we get to that War Games main event as well, and we'll run them down for you. We could give our quick analysis here. The opening match, Nina Prater versus Heidi Himmel for the DCWF Women's Championship. Nina Prater won her right to face Heidi today in a triple threat match last week where the first pin got to face the champion and the second pin won the SLCW Women's title. Nina Prater came out of that one on top, and she gets a shot at Heidi, and she has been chomping at the bit for her shot at the DCWF Women's title.
Indeed, it's a prestigious title. I mean, it's been held by the best of DCWF's female roster over the years. From people that have sadly left us to people who are still here, it's probably one of the most prestigious titles in wrestling.
Paula Wilcox, Horses Morrissey, Nikki Rocks, Jen F. Parkin, just to name a few of the folks that have held that title. And in our second match, Tara Duffield and her tag team partner, R.A. Mystic, will be teaming up in intergender action as they compete for the DCWF Tag Team Championships. Now, Corey Kruger was slated to fight in that slot today, but unfortunately she was in an automobile accident. Certainly our thoughts and prayers are with her as she recovers. The word I got is she's going to be fine, but she's unable to compete today. So Tara Duffield will be stepping up with her partner R.A. Mystic against the DCWF Tag Team Champions Kendra Chemistry and Ace Nightfire. Money has to go to the champions with this one. Tara and R.A. have not had a chance to work together, and Ace and Kendra pretty well oiled. What do you think?
Well, all of those people are incredibly talented wrestlers. I'm afraid I have had the crap kicked out of me for the past month, and it's been very hard to continuously watch other people's wrestling. But there isn't a person on this roster in this event tonight that isn't championship material.
All right, and in our next match, another match of huge importance, the women's SLCW title will be on the line as Andrea Dalka will take on Whiskers Savage. Andrea Dalka, the current champion, holding shiny. Whiskers Savage, it's kind of been tossed around like a hot potato in the past few weeks, and Whiskers Savage looking to settle the score here tonight against Andrea Dalka.
Well, with what you see right now, is what happens when 2 very good competitors of any stripe get together. They either find a stalemate or the title keeps getting passed back and forth against each other. And this is a very interesting competition because is this going to be the end, well, not the end of the title, but is this going to be the seat, the holder of the title for a long while?
And 2 different fighting styles, 2 very different types of people in the fourth match tonight. Jamal Travis and Jack O'Lantern for the SLCW men's title. Jack O'Lantern is solidly held onto that title ever since he won it and has taken on all comers. And tonight, Jamal Travis has earned himself a spot at the Stuff of Nightmares. Jack O'Lantern, this guy, you've been in the ring with this guy. You know he has what it takes to hold this SLCW title. But the more I watch Jamal Travis, the more I think if there's anybody that can dethrone the SLCW champion, it's Jamal.
Well, these 2 guys are, again, very great wrestlers, and what you expect from homegrown talent. Both of these people passed up through the show, they stuck here, they gutted it out, and Jack O'Lantern was the first person to actually get, first person out of these 2 to get the title. And it would be interesting to see these people go, because they have very different styles, they have very different ways of wrestling, they have very different bodies, but they are both homegrown talents. So they have obviously wrestled each other before, they've wrestled people like them before, so what's going to come out of it?
And finally, in the main event, I know it's the match that is near and dear to my heart, and it's got some personal shit with you this time around, Mythos. You'll be leaving the commentary table and getting into the War Games match. The team of Mr. Mafioso, William Naples, Ravishing Rock Reynolds, and the General, Pietro Shelford, the current and new version of Supremacy, will be taking on you and two of your closest friends, Mad Mike Freeman and Marcus Raymond. I'm not going to ask for your predictions in this one because I kind of know where it's going, but what I can tell you, folks, and what Mytho will tell you, is that this has been brewing for months. Pietro, Rock, and William, they've been running roughshod over the DCWF roster, beating up and taking down anybody they could please. They seem to be an unstoppable force, and Mytho, you and your team, they want to stop that shit right here, right now, tonight.
Well, this is very much an old versus new. With not necessarily old and new as you think, but this team of Supremacy has not been wrestling for as long as the team of myself, Mad Mike, and Marcus. And these are people who have come in. They've come up through the grassroots of the DCWF. They have grabbed themselves their power, and they have consolidated their power into this group, into one very competent group with good wrestlers, questionable ethics, questionable practices, but they are very good at maintaining their power. And all we need to do is break them apart and separate them and defeat them that way. It's divide and conquer.
All right, well, you are definitely going to try and dethrone those three from the seats of power that they've taken, quite honestly, here tonight at War Games, folks. There's seatbelt buckles on your seats. Strap them in, because we are about to get started, and it is time for DCWF War Games. All right, folks, the War Pigs have gathered. The War Drums have beaten, and any other dumb war reference I could make that's truly cheesy and pointless right now. And it is time for DCWF War Games. This is my favorite time of the year. I feel like it's Christmas, but we haven't even hit Halloween yet. I'm jizzing in my pants.
That's really good for you. I'm absolutely happy. I'm excited too, though I am cleanly excited. Is everyone else excited?
All right, for those of you that are new to DCWF shows or just getting involved in DCWF, right behind me is a sign that says DCWF Crowd Gestures. Now, those gestures were provided to us by an old friend a long, long time ago. Click on that box, get them for free, and it will set you up with a bunch of different gestures that you can play with during the show. Here at the DCWF, we appreciate loud and obnoxious fans. The more loud, the more obnoxious, the better. Just stay off your mic and don't jump the barricade, and we're going to be all good. So grab those gestures. Also, if you are not a member of the DCWF fan group and you'd like to be a member of the DCWF fan group, shout out in open chat, hey bitch, I want a fan tag, and somebody from the DCWF will hook you up. Mythil, I don't want to talk anymore. I want to call some great wrestling action. What about you?
Absolutely the same. Let's stop talking and let's get to watching.
Ladies and gentlemen, this first match is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the DCWF Women's Championship. Introducing first from San Antonio, Texas. Weighing in at, I always feel weird about saying a woman's weight, 121 pounds. She is the face of Lace, Nina Prater. And her opponent from London, England, she is the DCWF Women's Champion, the model, Heidi Himmel. All right, here we go. We talked about it at the beginning of the pre-show there, Mythil, that some of the best in the business have held this title. Paula Wilcox, Horses Morrissey, Misaki Yumako, Nanny Gothley, just to name a few. And this is without a doubt to win this title. You join your ranks amongst legends of the business, to be sure.
Oh yeah, and I think it's because there have been slightly fewer female wrestlers over the years than men, is that the pool has been pretty small. However, that doesn't mean that the talent has been small either. It's been a small pool with lots of big fish, if you get my drift. It's more. There's a lot.
That didn't
of
sound like
there.
an innuendo at all.
No, that didn't. No, I was playing that through my head again. It's like, this doesn't sound good in any way, but it's true. There are slightly fewer female wrestlers, but there's so much talent that when you get that title, you know that you've made it.
Heidi Himmel accompanied to the ring by another former DCWF Women's Champ, Lady Tara Duffield, her tag team partner in the Style Queens, and they've slowly been reuniting and reforming. And this one starts out textbook wrestling match here with some wrist locks being traded back and forth. Heidi and Nina understand each other very well. They know each other's style. They know how to wrestle with each other in the ring. But on the outside of the ring is that X Factor and Lady Tara Duffield. I'm pretty sure Heidi's not going to try and play it straight up. Big snap mare from Nina, and this one starts to get underway.
Indeed, I've been here for a long time, and I have seen the Style Queens manipulate matches, turn things to their favour constantly. And I'd literally be surprised if Lady Tara Duffield didn't interject herself in this match in some way.
She's at the ringside right now. Referee Dick Witham has things under control. He's got the call, and I'm sure he's going to be... the horse's I wasn't going to say it, so I'm glad you did. But I'm sure Dick Witham is going to be keeping things on the up and up here during this match.
Well, there's always just one referee, and the problem with just one referee is that you sometimes miss something, and that's just part of wrestling, you know. If the ref doesn't see it, it didn't happen. And even if you get lots of refs, like you see in other sports, they all have the potential to miss something.
Well, he's one man with one set of eyes, but he's working on this one now. As Nina with the sunset flip, 2 count, no pin. Heidi manages to worm her way out of it. Just a 2 count there. Official call from the referee, and this one continues. Heidi getting the hell out of Dodge, stepping outside of the ring, trying to regroup a little bit. Sometimes in a match, that's what you got to do. You got to catch your breath, regroup, and play words with friends on the outside. The word of the day is confer, obviously.
Well, all the women in this match have vaguely similar Oh! That wasn't what she was aiming for. But I think she's pretty glad she hit it anyway.
And Nina coming up on Heidi from behind. Heidi gets out of the way, and Tara catches the brunt of that anger, and Dick Witham starts that count from the inside of the ring. They both got till 10, and on the outside of the ring, Mythel, as you know, this is the DCWF. We have all kinds of stuff under that ring, including the kitchen sink. We've actually seen a kitchen sink come out from under that ring before. God only knows what kind of weapons Heidi, or even Nina, for that matter, might reach for while they're out there.
Indeed, we do not clean up under the ring. It is an absolute mess down there. It's like your bedroom when you're 15 years old. It's absolutely terrible.
My bedroom was spotless at 15 years old, thank you very much. Now that I'm 35 and I pay my own bills, I don't really give a shit. It's kind of a mess. But at 15, my room was tight.
Well, mine was too, actually. But I'm sure there's plenty of messy 15-year-olds out there.
Yeah, I'm sure there are.
Yeah, we see Lady Tara already interjecting herself into this match as we planned, and this is turning into almost a handicap match for Nina Prater.
Heidi back in the ring now, having counsel, if you will, with the referee. The referee not seeing what's going on the outside of the ring, and what's going on the outside of the ring is Tara is laying it in to Nina. Tara tosses Nina back in the ring, but not after getting her shots in. Nina finding herself almost in a handicap match here, so long as Heidi can keep the referee distracted, and and she's a crack whore.
Well, that's what the fans say. I'd like to stay neutral in that. Though her outfit is not exactly flattering.
Nina paying a little bit too much attention on Tara on the outside of the ring, and Heidi from behind raking the back, driving the nails right down Nina's back there. And Style Queens doing what they've always done. I've always said, love them or hate them, they might just be the most well-oiled machine, tag team, group, stable, this, that, or the other, whatever you want to call it, in wrestling history. These two have done everything together, and there's not much they haven't accomplished.
Indeed, that was the Roman Greco backrake, staple of wrestling all around the world. And there have been incredibly good tag teams, including so much more on the women's side than on the men's. I guess it's because women stick together more than men do because they all hate us. But the Style Queens, Bike Club, what was it?
Model Behavior. Don't forget Model Behavior.
Model Behavior. Misandrous Think. What was it? Killer something. I don't know.
What did Masaki and Paula call themselves?
No, it was Bike Club.
Yeah.
I was thinking the other one, the Man Killers.
The Man Haters Inc. Yeah, Man Haters Inc. Yep.
I was not far off with Misandrous Inc.
No, not at all. Nina now working in that Texas Cloverleaf, trying to wrap this one up early. Has it locked in. Referee checking in with Heidi. Right now, Heidi not willing to give it up. Nina has it locked in pretty securely in the center of the ring. Heidi making her way to the ropes now, trying to drag Nina with her to get to the ropes, to get that hold broke. Nina needs to fight it or try and... oh, come on! Come on!
Well, is that technically... hypothetically, let's say we had No Man's Land. Is that technically cheating?
In No Man's Land, no, not in No Man's Land it wouldn't be, but here at War Games, in a traditional title match, it certainly is, and Tara grabbing Heidi's arm and laying it over the ropes so that Nina Prater would have to break the hold. Nina Prater, probably the most frustrated person in the DCWF women's locker room. Time and time again, she's tried to get this opportunity, and time again, she's been sidestepped and taken for granted. And now, when she gets it, she not only has to contend with Heidi, but she also has to contend with Tara and the antics that they're going to pull here. Most definitely, it's an uphill battle for the Texan.
Indeed, and you'd think if she was, I hate to say, I don't want to say she's stupid, but if she was smarter, she would have really sort of tried to bring someone down with her, even just paying them as some sort of insurance that Tara Duffield didn't get involved.
As everybody knows, that's not Nina's style. She definitely plays everything above board, and if she wins this, she wants to win it on her own. Both women back in the ring now. Heidi favoring that leg. Nina on the chase. And oh, come on, Nina up against the ropes. Tara tripping her from the outside. Like, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like where this is going.
Well, that's what I said. It's not exactly breaking the rules or being a dishonorable person to get someone to watch your back.
And Nina with that baseball slide drop kick, trying to do anything to isolate Heidi from Tara and keep herself away from Tara as well. Nina now wanting Heidi to get up. Nina's setting Heidi up. Nina has been preparing for this match all week, getting her mind right, and getting her head together, and a big spine buster, sending the champion back down to the mat. Nina Prater taking a little momentum here in the middle stages of this match. Who knows how this is going to turn out?
Indeed, I mean, Nina's style is slightly different. There's a difference between the British and the American, or might you say European-American wrestling style. but I don't think there's much between them in terms of size, weight, and so forth. I mean, not much.
Nina going for the lace cups, one of her signature moves, and Heidi Himmel able to counter it there with that drop toe hold. Quick thinking on the part of Heidi Himmel. When you talk about ring awareness and you talk about overall presence, very few compare to the likes of Tara Duffield and Heidi Himmel, the style queens as far as how they operate in that ring. And bad news for Nina as she has lost that momentum and she is bent back over the knee at the mercy of Heidi Himmel.
Indeed, yes. They've spent 3-4 years perfecting the ability to interject themselves into things and change the match to their advantage. I mean, they know exactly everything to do without getting caught, or by bending the rules just enough without breaking them. And that doesn't take anything away from their wrestling ability, but they do end up taking a little bit of shortcuts as Heidi goes up to the top rope, and she's probably looking for one of her signature maneuvers coming up.
And the catwalk crunch connects that moonsault off the top. 2 count. 2 count, waiting on 3. No, Nina gets out of the catwalk crunch, something we've seen very, very few people do. Heidi goes up to that top rope, perfectly executed catwalk crunch moonsault, but Nina mustering up all she's got. And Heidi is unable to get that pin as Nina gets her shoulder up. Nina reaching down into the deep, dark places that we don't talk about at cocktail parties to get her shoulder up on that one.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, not many people have kicked out of things like the catwalk crunch or many of the top-level moves perfected by wrestlers over the years. I mean, it takes determination to actually kick out of something like that, and it takes skill to get yourself back into a wrestling match when you've taken such a blow.
And Tara and Heidi arguing with the ref now. His word is law. Dick with him. He's really not a guy you want to go out drinking with, but he's a fair referee, and he called that one a 2, and I think it was a pretty good 2 count. Nina got the shoulder up. Now Heidi Himmel just grabbing Nina by the hair. No, Nina fighting out with that chicken leg kick, getting that foot back onto the leg of Heidi Himmel, breaking that hair, that weave lock, as Cotton likes to call it. Able to get away from there for a minute.
Yeah. I don't know, I'd take Dick out drinking with me. I mean, you're talking to a girl or something, and she's got a friend that you're not quite interested with, but Dick obviously not getting any, so...
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he's not a good wingman. He wouldn't understand. He'd be trying to get the girl you're talking with and just blow you out of the set. And the face of Lace Bulldog, there it is. And Nina with the Bulldog and the pin. No, wait, this should be... And Tara distracting the referee up on the apron there, and Nina with the face of Lace Bulldog. That could have been over, and the referee wasn't able to count because he was being distracted. Unbelievable.
Yeah, they're perfectionists at this. As I said, they are perfectionists at getting what they want out of people they can manipulate. And Dick is an easy thing to manipulate.
If there's anything that Tara knows how to manipulate, that is Dick.
She knows Dick. The inappropriateness has started early as Nina completely missing and landing face first on the second turnbuckle, allowing Heidi to completely take advantage.
And something we haven't seen in a DCWF ring in a long time, the scepter has come out. Tara Duffield's scepter has come out. We have not seen that scepter in quite better than a year, and Heidi breaks it out now and begins choking Nina Prater with it, and a shot to the head with the scepter. The scepter has been a deciding factor in many matches, and Dick is Tara can't keep the Dick away from her.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously it's only something we haven't seen in a long time. I mean, Tara's scepter, she's used it to her advantage constantly in matches before, but now she's actually going to have to get the attention of the referee back away from Tara.
She's done the damage and used a scepter, and now she's going for the pin. Tara finally getting off that apron is unbelievable. And there's the oh, come on. Well, as it were, 3 counts happen. Ladies and gentlemen, here is your winner, and still the DCWF Women's Champion, the model, Heidi Himmel.
What the shit?
I guess what we saw was Nina robbed of her chance at victory here.
Well,
I don't know any other way to put it.
Well, I almost want to say what to expect. You wanted to go against Heidi, then you go against the Style Queens. You bring someone with you. You bring backup.
All right, well, if we thought Tara had some effect in one match, what's she going to do in this one? Because this next match is for the DCWF Tag Team Championships, as Tara Duffield will team up with R.A. Mystic to face the champions, Kindred Chemistry and Ace Nightfire. I'm ready for that shit. What about you guys? Ladies and gentlemen, this next match is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first the challengers. First, she calls herself the Lady of Taste and Culture, the ruler of all she surveys, the head girl at St. Mary's Finishing School for Young Ladies, the immaculate and demure perfection herself, Lady Tara Duffield, weighing in at 129 pounds from London, England, and her tag team partner, weighing in at 220 pounds from Chicago, Illinois, is the anarchist R.A. Mystic. Tara was good luck for Heidi in that last match. Maybe she'll be good luck for RA in this match, and they'll walk out with the DCWF Tag Team Champions and their opponents. From Detroit, Michigan, weighing in at 142 pounds, she is the showgirl, Kendra Chemistry, and her partner from Las Vegas, Nevada, weighing in at 235 pounds, he is the gambler, Ace Nightfire. And Kendra, as always, giving a little pole dancing show to the crowd. Mostly the gentlemen in the crowd, but we find that some of the ladies like it too. She's one half of the Tag Team Champions with Ace Nightfire, a team that we have kind of dubbed backstage and up in the office as Dirty Vegas. Don't ask me why. It's just what we like to call them.
Really? I was going to call them the Vegas Strip.
Hey, I like that.
I have all the knowledge about bullshit no one cares about, including the fact that Ace and Kendra's team are the one with matching outfits.
That's true. They both came out wearing white, and what was interesting to see was that Ace was getting cheers when he walked out of the ring, because Ace hasn't been cheered in a hot minute.
Ace is a polarizing figure. Either you love him or you hate that you love him.
Hey, well, what can you say about Ace except for, we've said it 100 times, he's the hardest working man in business. 2 shows a week for God knows how long. I mean, he gets his ring time. I don't necessarily care for his attitude sometimes, and I think his haircut's kind of Bieberish, but hey, what do I know about fashion, right?
Well, you got to pay off those gambling debts somehow. He's a great wrestler, but he's a terrible gambler. Hey, that's just based off personal opinion. He's lost everything I've ever bet with him.
Yeah, well, I recall a time in middle. I think you'll recall this too. A little side note about Ace is when he pawned Seltman's announcer's table to cover some gambling debts. Just the amount of devastation that Seltman went through.
Indeed, I think the only reason William Naples is here is to constantly threaten to break Ace's legs if he doesn't pay up.
And this one's starting off, Kendra Chemistry having Tara in that side headlock straight away. Oh no, Tara counters out with an atomic drop. The ladies starting this match off, and I think she just broke Kendra's ass bone.
That's not a bone you want to break. The ass bone is a very crucial bone.
Especially if you're Kendra, because she's constantly shaking it.
Yeah, I mean, her ass is completely broken. There's a massive crack up it. And she's absolutely annoyed at that.
Wow. Are you Mythal or are you Callum? What the fuck?
I am completely inappropriate and full of bad jokes.
And Kendra dropping that fist right into the chest and the throat of Lady Tara Duffield. Now, we saw Tara Duffield getting a little bit of action in that last match, and there's Kendra with the pin. 1, 2, 2 count. Tara rolls up out of it. This one's going to go on. R.A. Mystic, cheering his partner on. He'd love his shot at these tag titles. R.A. Mystic coming through the show as well and working his way up through the ranks of the DCWF. And if there was anybody, if I'm R.A. Mystic and I'm new in the DCWF and I'm just making my bones and I have to draw a tag team partner, I couldn't pick better than Tara Duffield, if I could be honest.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're talking about someone who's held tag titles for an incredibly long time, and she tries to take one now with a one, and the shoulders were up just enough to break the count. I mean, she's held the tag titles for an insane amount of time, and she's fought other incredibly talented tag teams to get them. So, I mean, if you want someone on your side that knows what she's doing, then it's going to be Tara Duffield.
Very few people know tag team wrestling like Tara Duffield knows tag team wrestling. And I'm sure there was a little sit down with R.A. before the match saying, this is how we do it. And R.A. being, I think he's a pretty smart guy. He's probably listening to the veteran there. And, Lady Tara laying into punches and Kendra fighting back with some big fist and kicks of her own. Tara feeling the brunt of it, off the ropes now, and no arm drag catches Kendra, and Tara escapes narrowly with it. What is she wearing, by the way? Like, is this a bikini competition, or is this fucking pro wrestling? I don't even know.
It's not a lot, but I don't know. I've always considered a lot of wrestling outfits a bit on the skin tight side. That's why I wrestle in pants. That's why I have like a good bit of leeway between them and my legs, so I don't go around flashing my junk everywhere.
And believe me, nobody here wants to see your junk, and we appreciate you for that. That's what makes you a man's man. You keep your junk to yourself.
Oh yeah, my junk is my own, and whoever I'm sharing it with at the time. And now Kendra managing to control the pace of this match. She's managing to dictate the pace, where she wrestles and how she wrestles so far. She's putting up a good fight against Tara Duffield and managing to separate her away from her tag team partner. And that's something you want to do in a tag team match, is separate the two people. I mean, he can break up a count, yes, but if you're beating one person down constantly, then you've got a constant weak person. So Tara managing to tip it back into her favour with a jawbreaker. She's managed to take Kendra back off her feet. And if I was her, I'd tag R.A. back in. Or I'd tag R.A. into the match. And then let him continue on and try and get the pin. Because he has a severe weight advantage over Kendra.
Well, Tara Duffield obviously not listening to your advice here at ringside. She's going on the assault with just a stomping of the. Can I say vagina?
What? Vagina? You just said vagina.
Oh, dang it! I did. It's just stomping on the special part, if you will, of Lady Tara Duffield, who, hey, look, we can fit a train tunnel through that sometimes, and Kendra's boot right into it as well, and just Kendra's still on the assault, kicking with the gut, and the Irish whip now over into the corner, and Tara up in the corner. Kendra might not want to go over there. R.A.'s over there in weight as well. R.A. tagging himself in. Tara free for the moment. Kendra going to have to either make a decision here, contend with R.A. for a minute, or go ahead and tag in Ace Nightfire, former DCWF World Heavyweight Champion, who, by all rights, the bigger, the stronger of the two. R.A. Mystic faster and quicker, and Ace sometimes has trouble with that. But here we go. Ace Nightfire tagged in, and the men are in, and they're going to do it for you here as this one's about to get serious, because Ace, when RA won the right to be the number one contender, Ace dropped him with the cutter right in the middle of the ring. Congratulated him, shook his hand, dropped him with a cutter right in the middle of the ring, and RA has had a little bit of a beef with Ace ever since. So we're going to see some personal stuff going on here in this tag team match.
Oh yeah, I mean, it seems like the bigger they are, the harder they have problems with people who are a lot faster. They're not much shorter, there's not one that's much shorter than the other, but one's definitely more faster than the other as RA takes Ace over with a snapmare. I've wrestled Ace a lot, and he's a lot more methodical and a lot less of a risk taker than a lot of the other wrestlers around at the moment. And so far it's paid off for him. I mean, it's definitely paid off for him as far as titles go.
Ace has been, he's had his up days, he's had his down days. He's been at the top of the mountain, and he's had to fight to get his way back up. And armbar takedown from Ace, but I've been in the ring with Ace before, and he's hit that cut the deck, that maneuver on me out of nowhere. At any time, any point in the match, he could jump up with that thing, and if he catches you with it, you're finished. RA would do very, very well to keep Ace on that mat.
Indeed, but conversely, I mean, you don't fight your way up to number one contendership. You don't fight your way up to something like War Games, and then don't come in prepared somehow. I mean, maybe you practice taking cutters from people who know how to do them properly, and I really don't know how you would work your way around that. But you don't come in and just get knocked out by one cutter. That's just not taking anything away from Ace. But you just don't want to give up at that one powerful move.
Well, what makes Ace's cutter so deadly is you never see it coming. I mean, he's literally been on the ground and come up out of nowhere with it. As a matter of fact, you can check us out on YouTube at DCWF Vines, as we have Ace delivering that cutter on random multiple videos of people falling down.
Uh-huh.
That was a joke. Rock should be laughing right now.
Yeah, there's just a lot of talk of hats coming through to me. I was trying to ignore it and concentrate on this match. I mean, Ace, he can hit it out of nowhere, but he's going to have to get the opportunity to hit it. He manages to hit something else as he takes RA around with that Arn Anderson style spine buster.
Ace, probably he's not incredibly huge and big like Pietro or, like a Voodoo, but he's incredibly strong, one of the strongest guys in the business. So he can pick you up and slam you out of nowhere. RA Mystic recovering from that spine buster as Ace Nightfire has his hands on him. And Ace Nightfire is a proud and fighting DCWF Tag Team Champion. And he's not going to let RA get the best of him that easy. And come on, dude, right to the pills, disrespecting the nuts. RA Mystic's going to have to go see a doctor after this.
Well, that was definitely a calculated move by Ace Nightfire, and he doesn't do anything that's not going to at least look like it's going to give him some sort of benefit. And that's what he does. That's how he wrestles. He's methodical, and he tries to do stuff that's not too risky. As he goes in for the pin now, after the 1, the 2, and just a 2, RA managing to get his shoulder, almost his arse off the ring. Because that's how you break pins. 5-year veteran of wrestling, and I think I break pins with my arse. That's astounding. The match continues.
Okay. Your ass breaks pins.
That's how I kicked out so many.
Remember I got you the Brazilian butt lift video for Christmas 3 years ago, and I guess you've been using it.
I am now the best at twerking.
I'm sure Miley Cyrus would disagree, and RA just laying in with those punches and those kicks, trying to, back away from Ace and get some distance there. His boys are probably still hurting. Good Lord, somebody get that man a bucket of ice or something. I don't know.
Indeed, as Kendra tags herself in and hops over the ropes. Now, RA, again, is going to have to make a choice. Does she Does he tag out to Lady Tara Duffield, or does he go against Kendra Chemistry? He decides to tag out to Lady Tara, and now Lady Tara's going to have to contend with Kendra Chemistry. They've been back and forth, both trying to get control over the match and get it into their area. And Kendra already takes control of the match. She takes Tara down with another spine buster, and they go straight into a cat fight.
And Kendra, competes all over the grid. You can see her at a couple of different shows here at Second Life Wrestling. So she's got all the experience in the world. She needs to be able to hold her own against a lady, Tara Duffield. But again, we said this last match. I'll say Tara Duffield's so cunning, knows the ring so well, knows how to manipulate, work a referee, understands the game very, very well, the head game of this thing. And Kendra with that hook kick and a pin attempt, only a 2 count as Tara gets that shoulder up, but we almost saw this one get stolen.
Indeed. I mean, we almost saw this match get stopped right there from the pin. But Kendra going up to the top rope, she's flipping through a senton leg drop style maneuver on Lady Tara, and you don't have to weigh a lot for that to hurt. I mean, it's just momentum and gravity, and picking Tara up from the back, seeing what she's got in store.
And the sit-down weave lock as Tara Duffield finds herself in a position here. Kendra Chemistry just bringing her up by the hair and following it up with a Russian leg sweep. And Tara in a lot of trouble. Kendra does not like Tara. I mean, you talk about, when Kendra came to the DCWF, Tara was away for a while, and all the guys were liking her showgirl, stripper act. She had all the dudes checking her out, chasing her, giving her the eye, and then Tara shows up, and we all know how Tara is with the men. And so, they're not only competing for this title, but they're competing for the attention of the opposite sex here. And maybe in some instances the same sex. I don't know.
Well, Lady Tara manages to check Kendra's pedigree, and I'm not entirely sure what she's won, but I don't think this is a Crufts match. This is a wrestling match, and I'm just going to call that a facebuster because I'm not sure. I've never really liked the word pedigree. And wrapping the leg around, just driving her face into the canvas.
Tara likes to call that move decrowned, and Kendra Chemistry. Most of the time we're looking at strippers from the neck down, but they make a little money on their face too. I hope she didn't break her moneymaker.
See, a few things connected that into my brain, and it just became horrible.
Tara Duffield on the assault now as she showing a little bit of good sportsmanship, helping her opponent up. And Kendra answering quickly with a headlock takedown, and just as quickly as Tara had the momentum, Kendra takes it back. Kendra's so quick, so aware of what's going on in the ring. There's not an opponent she's been against, win or lose, that she hasn't gone full bore at. And Tara rolling that up into the pin. 1, 2 count. 2 count only as Tara almost pulled that one out.
We say we never see people submitted from a headlock. I've never seen someone being pinned out of a headlock either.
It's a Hail Mary attempt if you're on the receiving end of that, but it's enough to startle your opponent nonetheless.
The Roman Greco eye rake from Kendra to Tara and sit out facebuster.
Greco-Roman eye rake, I love that. Who started it? Was it Sparky that started that?
I know I've seen it somewhere.
You're Sparky yourself, Dan, and the fans, I think the hardest job at DCWF must be the referee, because if there's anybody that catches more shit, it's got to be the referee. Kendra shoving Tara down to the mat now When it comes to strength, Kendra is able to hold her own. I saw a match with her in Tara Titan. If you've ever seen Tara Titan, you know what I'm talking about. Where Kendra got some muscle in on the Vampiric Behemoth, and quite impressive. Looks like Tara making her way out of the ring now, trying to catch her breath. Smart strategy, but I don't think it's going to help Kendra's pulse rate at all, because she is on fire.
Yeah, I think women have just consistently gotten bigger as they've come in. I don't know if it's something in the water or something, but women have gone from being, in wrestling, have gone from being small to being huge. Though Tara is very, very good at creating separation and catching her breath and getting a hit in when she needs to. Just like there, as Kendra runs in and Tara takes the legs out from under, bouncing her neck off of the ring ropes.
Well, we talked about Tara being a ringmaster. I hate to say that word, ringmaster, but she understands the ring very, very well. She knows how to use it to her advantage and manipulate it, and she catches Kendra with that dropped hold, sending Kendra off the ropes, quickly gaining the advantage. She is a master of psychology, and right now she's in Kendra's head big time. And there it is, the London Bridge. Kendra in a lot of trouble right now.
Variation of the Yoshi tonic, variation of the Jigen tonic almost, as Lady Tara takes Kendra down, bounces off the mat, and she should be going for a pin right now. Unless she just wants to add something in to make sure she's finished off.
Giving Kendra a little bit too much time there. Kendra making her way over to her tag team partner Ace. Tara giving RA a chance here. Tara opting not to put Kendra away after that devastating maneuver, and now the guys are back in and gonna go at it. Here we go.
Yeah, I'm not sure why she didn't elect to pin her there. I don't know why. It's either she's got a plan or what. It's a bit confusing to me, but RA and Ace now lock up in the ring. They're going to bull each other until one's managed to get leverage, which is RA, as he sends Ace off the ropes. Well, not off the ropes, but Ace getting hung up in the ropes as RA runs in. And Ace sends him over the top with a back body drop.
Did I lose voice for a second? Am I back? Am I here? Can anybody hear me?
You hear? Yes.
All right, Kendra with that big haymaker punch. I lost voice for a second there. It appeared froze up a little bit. Yeah, I'm on Linux now. I haven't had many problems, but occasionally.
No, you're fine. I can hear you. You're great. As the match continues on the outside now, to tilt my head over just to look, because Ace is a little bit, RA, sorry, he's a bit obscured by the ring. I think we got cameras here. And I'm starting to get a bit worried about that barbed wire.
Well, it shouldn't come into play. It should come into play in a match like this, but Ace and RA are the legal ones, and Dick, I think, learned his lesson in that last match, and he's not paying any attention to the women on the other side of the ring. And if you take a look, they're pretty much going at each other over there, and Ace tossing RA back into the ring. Ace wanting to get this one over with. He got some advantage on the outside there. That now he's the man to beat. Two legal men in the ring. The women still on the outside going at each other. There's not a whole lot of love lost between these two. They compete for belts, attention, spot in the DCWF Diamonds division. And a big boot from RA as Ace tries to charge into the corner. Mithil, you've been in a ring with Ace. Have you been in a ring with RA? What do you think? Honest.
What do I think? It's a general statement. What do I think? Ace has got the ability to win anything he wants just by being able to see the opportunity and take it when it's there. The problem is, RA, like myself, is an opportunist in the sense that he would, not an opportunist, he is a risk taker. And if Ace can exploit that risk, then he can win. If Ace can't exploit that risk, then RA can win.
We'll talk about the risk. RA up on the top rope now. Figure 4 from the women on the outside. Finally broken. RA on the top. And there he goes. No! And I told you, I've said this before. Out of nowhere, Ace cuts the deck. RA goes off the top rope to try and finish Ace off. Ace had just enough time to see what was coming. Cut the deck. Here's the pin. 1, 2, 3. Ladies and gentlemen, here are your winners and still the DCWF Tag Team Champions. Ace Nightfire, Kinder Chemistry, the Vegas Strip. Your balls are showing. Well, we talked about that cutter coming out of nowhere, and Ace, probably one of the best timed cutters he has delivered ever in his entire career to finish off R.E. Mystic in that Tag Team Championship match. But it gets better. The SLCW Women's title is getting ready to be on the line. And the SLC Women's title, the SLCW tradition goes all the way back to the beginnings of Second Life Wrestling when the DCWF was the SLCW and Second Life Championship Wrestling. And Second Life made us change it to something else because it had the name Second Life, and they were not sponsoring us, and they were not, whatever it was. So we became the DCWF, but we figured out a way through the use of the Slam City Championship Wrestling, Slam City Wrestling, to bring the SLCW title back. It has deep-rooted traditions, and the people that have held it thus far in the past year or so that we've done it have been nothing short of stellar. Current champion Andrea Dowka defends against Whisker Savage right now. Are you guys ready for some SLCW women's action? Ladies and gentlemen, this next match is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the SLCW Women's Championship. Introducing first from the highlands of Ethiopia, weighing in at 157 pounds, she is Whiskers Savage. And her opponent, from wherever she damn well pleases, weighing in at 125 pounds, she is the SLCW Women's Champion, the Gypsy Princess, Andrea Dalka. All right, these two have been going at each other for a couple months now, all leading up to this moment for the SLCW women's title. It's changed hands several times between Nina, Whiskers, and Andrea over the course of those couple months, and it all comes to a head here. And if you know anything about the DCWF, you know that coming up in December is our December pay-per-view, Blizzard, and that features the Elimination Chamber, and there will be an SLCW Men's Elimination Chamber and an SLCW Women's Elimination Chamber. So whoever wins this match here today can easily go into December at the Chamber as the champion and have that advantage. Whiskers and Andrea getting ready to get it on here. Andrea not quite wanting to get in the ring yet. I think she realizes she's got an angry cat on the other side of those ropes.
Oh, yeah.
What
She's leaving.
No, she ain't. Whiskers is on the chase. Andrea has been known to grab that title and go. And, Whiskers well prepared for that eventuality and, has in mind to chase her down and drag her ass to the ring. And Whiskers says that it will be a title match today.
Oh, indeed. This is a belt that's gone back and forth due to very good competition, and you're talking about Andrea, who is young and energetic, and then you're talking about Whiskers, who's older and more experienced, and just what beats out, is it energy or experience?
Andrea, she takes a fight to whoever she's got, and they're on the outside of the ring now, and they're fighting already here. I look at War Games today. We've had 3 title matches so far, and so far all the champions have retained, and that takes me back to Smash of the Champions back in June, where every title changed hands except for yours, the DCWF heavyweight title. It was not an incumbents race, and I think the champions have learned something from that and figured out how to hold on to their titles here at this one. And the same pretty much happened at 6, and I think the champions have figured out this time we have to hold on to our shit, or we're going to look really, really bad.
So out of the past year, I've held my title more than anyone else has. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying you're the only one that's managed to keep their shit intact.
Oh, thank you. That's a great compliment.
Coming from me, you're damn right it is. All right, Kitty with the pin already. One count. Whisker Savage. I had a chat with her. She knows what she's up against. She knows she's up against a cunning opponent who is willing to do anything and everything to win that match. And she said she's never been more prepared, for combat than this match. She's a little older, but you got to remember she's a little wiser at this point. Whisker Savage, one of the very first inductees into the DCWF Hall of Fame. She has earned her place in history, not only in DCWF, but in all of Second Life professional wrestling. And she's going to prove it tonight, she says, by trying to take that title. But she's going to have to do it against the Gypsy Princess, and that is no easy task.
Well, now that I think about it, a lot of war games at the moment is the younger, more energetic, and heart out for blood against the older and the more experienced and the more established.
Well, you have to think about it. You guys, on your team have done that big suplex to the outside of the ring from Whisker Savage. She's got all the strength in the world. She's going to get up and play to that crowd a little bit. Andrea, not a factor in her mind right now, is Andrea crawling on the outside of the ring. You guys have been there, done that. Whisker Savage, been there, done that. There comes a time where you muster up that youth. You muster up that piss of vinegar that you had when you first started out, and you bring it to the table, and it's usually against somebody who who's just too damn dumb to realize who you are, and that makes them dangerous. And Andrea, look, the table isn't the place. You got to be in the ring if you want to win the match, girly. Chicky, that's the way it works.
I mean, sometimes to get noticed and get your stuff out there and get yourself some brass or some gold, is that sometimes you have to be a bigger bad guy than the bad guys above you. I mean, just look at Scarface, or the movie, shall we say, or any of the wrestlers that got their stripes by being a bigger badass. Ooh, wow.
Andrea's head right into the table. I don't think either of these two are really paying much attention to the ref. Dick with him trying to get him back into the ring here. And both of these women just completely dislike each other. They've beaten each other, they've lost to each other, and it all comes to a head here at DCWF War Games. So we still have 2 matches to go as Jack O'Lantern defends his SLCW Men's Championship, and your match, Mythel, the granddaddy of them all, baby, War Games. I'm excited. I still haven't stopped jizzing in my pants. I'm just saying.
That's good. Let's just pray and pray that it is marginally better than our last one, as Andrea takes Whiskers off her feet and into the ropes.
Well, to be fair about the last one, we were not here at our place. We were someplace else, and some dumbass decided to have a concert at the same time we were trying to do a wrestling show, and we all know how that went. But, hey, those ropes, they'll never forget me.
You did make good friends with the ropes.
And Andrea and Whiskers trading blows in the ring back and forth on this one. Whisker Savage, as of late, has gotten more and more ferocious. She's become less and less of the White Knight and more of the Dark Horse, to be as cliche as humanly possible. And a big knee drop from Andrea Dalka right down to Whisker Savage, and Whisker Savage finding herself in a little bit of trouble against the SLCW Women's Champion.
Well, I tell you what, getting that belt, earning it, and once you've got it, you want to hold on to it. I mean, it can really play a number on your personality. It can really make you want to just hold on to that thing as much as possible and for as long as possible. Some people it doesn't affect at all. Some people it really does. And at the moment, it does affect Andrea. And she gets Whiskers into a headlock and smashes her into the back of the head.
Well, you get that first taste of gold, and you and I have been there. You get that first taste of gold, and all of a sudden you get that swagger, right? And sometimes it's not always about the gold, but it's about being the best. It's about being able to walk out there and say, I've earned this, I've done this. And I remember Andrea, when she first came to the DCWF, she was all over the place, very talented. Oh, Whisker Savage at the receiving end of that one. Andrea Dalga on the offensive and in charge of this match so far. I remember Andrea coming in, she was kind of all over the place, very talented, hadn't found her bearings yet. Somehow she got that SLCW women's title, and the swagger was there. Here's the pin, 1, 2, only a 2 count as Whiskers gets that shoulder up, and I was about to say, Andrea has been on fire and on a roll ever since for months now, and she's been at the top of her game, and it doesn't look like she's showing any signs of stopping.
Oh yeah, it doesn't look like she's going to slow down at all. I mean, that sliding D was not enough to put Whiskers Savage away, but it hasn't slowed Andrea down. She's still on her opponent. She's still trying to get the win. She's putting the knee in, putting the fists in, trying to get anything she can to get that leverage in, to get the shoulders to the mat for a 3 count.
Whiskers made it clear to her at the beginning of this thing that she was not going to be able to just take her title and walk away. Andrea's been known to do that, to get frustrated in a match, to just forget about it, grab the belt, walk out, and she loses the match to 10 count, but she gets to keep the SLCW women's title. Whiskers making it very clear at the beginning that that's not going to happen. Rolls that headlock, 1, 2, 2 count. Andrea manages to right herself again, and Whiskers on a Hail Mary play not coming through. And only a 2 count. Official word from the referee, Dick Witham. Can we all say that we love Dick? Can we just get a big I love Dick chant going on? Appreciate this referee a little bit. I appreciate Dick. I appreciate what he does for the DCWF. I appreciate what Dick does for America.
Indeed, everyone should respect Dick. I mean, Dick calls the shots. As Andrea manages to get Whiskers Savage down to her knees. It's not the first time this match she's managed to take her opponent down, and her opponent is bigger and arguably physically stronger than Andrea, and well, you got to do anything to keep your title. Some people go to underhanded techniques. Some people will almost kill themselves to keep that title. A running knee lift, gypsy knee lift from Andrea, taking Whiskers off her knees onto her back.
You talk about two very different fighting styles. 2 count only as Whiskers gets that shoulder up. You talk about 2 very different fighting styles. So Andrea is a true gypsy in the fact that she has a huge collection of wrestling repertoire that she uses from time to time. She's a hoarder. She picks things up here and there and collects them and uses them in the ring quite effectively. And then you have Whiskers Savage, who is all about power, all about strength, all about whooping your ass. One of my first matches in the DCWF was against Whiskers Savage, and I swear to you, she smacked me like a little bitch around that ring, and she don't play games.
Oh, no, she doesn't. She's got all those years of experience over Andrea. She goes into the back hammerlock, dragging the arm of Andrea up towards the back of her head.
And Whiskers wrenching in that headlock, trying to slow the pace down a little bit. Eye rake from Andrea Dalga, breaking Whiskers' momentum. And the referee letting her know she saw it. Referee, he was a little distracted in that first match, and I think the crowd whipped his ass into shape because he ain't missed a call since.
Oh yeah, I think Dick's learned from the previous now. He's really keeping an eye on this match as Andrea pushed the boot into the upper chest and throat of Whiskers Savage, trap her in the corner, and just squeezing the life out of her. I mean, she's pulling out all the stops now, trying to get as much out of 5 counts, as much out of each move as she can to put Whiskers away and retain that belt.
One of the things you don't see from the DCWF, Diamonds division, which is our women's division, is a whole lot of hesitation and daintiness from the biggest woman on the roster, Tara Titan, to the smallest woman on the roster, somebody like a Nina Prater or an Andrea Dalga. They all get in there and get nasty and dirty. They all have teeth. They all have claws. Here's the pin. 1, 2, and they all have just as much fight in them as my ex-wife did, and she was a vicious bitch.
Have you ever seen women fighting, like in boxing, MMA or something? They're worse than the men. They go in hating each other. It's glorious and horrible to watch. It's like, dude, you might not like the guy, but that's as far as it, You just don't shake his hand or whatever. Women actively just, oh my god, they're evil. They're evil. Women are evil. Saying that now.
Kitty with a monster headbutt just throwing her forehead right into the nose of Andrea Dalka. I hope she didn't break that. Getting her up in that. Oh no, Andrea fighting back with the bell claps, and here's a Kitty huge high level drop kick to the face. Mitchell, I've never even seen you get that high on a vertical.
Well, now I just gotta try harder, don't I?
Yes, you do.
Andrea with the double standing leg drop on Whisker Savage, and it's gonna. Yes, you are thinking, but you're giving your opponent a lot of time to get herself back together. Get on. If you want to win, get on her. Finish her off.
Well, at this point in the match, you can see both of these ladies are running on fumes. They are winded. They have thrown it all at each other. A little hesitation is to be expected. I mean, my cardio's not that good. I couldn't handle that long of a match. I used to just go in and rack people and get the hell out because I'm old and out of shape. But these ladies going at it. Andrea's got that leg of Whisker Savage. It's like she's setting to drag her across the ring towards the rope, setting something up. I don't know what's going on here. Andrea, normally I could watch somebody wrestle for a while. I could sit and watch their matches and get kind of a feel for, like what they're thinking and how they're doing. Andrea, I cannot. I wonder if she has tinfoil under that bandana so that I can't read her mind.
Well, that's what a diet of Hot Pockets, whiskey, and the finest in Camel cigarettes will do to you. However, these women are a lot more athletic and have a lot more staying power in the ring.
Who's on a diet of Hot Pockets and whiskey? It's Hot Pockets, Mountain Dew, and Pall Mall Red. Come on.
Okay. I gave up smoking many years ago. I don't know why. It's like, I look at them now and it's all foreign to me, even though I was doing it for a long time.
So you've given up on the fags, have you?
Yes, yeah, I did, a while ago.
And again with the weave lock. It's like every time there's a women's match, we see the weave lock. There's just something about that maneuver that the women love. I don't know.
Well, just look at all the women in the Diamonds division. They all have, like, long, luxurious hair. It's hard not to get your fingers in it.
That's why when I cleverly don't have hair, nobody can do the weave lock on me. No. You, on the other hand, you got that long hair, too. Andrea up to the high rent district. Whisker Savage at her mercy, flat out on a mat. Andrea taking her time, measuring it up. There she goes. No! Leg drop, and Whiskers gets out of the way. I wonder if Andrea broke her ass on the way down.
Oh yeah, but I have long hair because I'm just too lazy to cut it, and Andrea coming off the top rope and completely missing that leg drop. And she loves leg drops and knees, but she completely broke herself on the way down. Whisker Savage managed to get the pin, and we got a 1, and we got a 2, and only a 2. Andrea manages to get the belt, managed to get her shoulder up and retain the belt as of now.
Alright fans, if you are having a great time here at DCWF War Games and you are getting your money's worth, and by the way you got him for free, let me get a hell yeah. And Laura the Great with that duck laugh in there that fucking creeps me out every time I hear it.
Better than Duckface.
Right. Now, are they saying that somebody sucks dick or that you suck, comma, dick? I don't know which one it is. Because our referee's in there right now, and he's been taking a beating all show.
I don't know. I think we need more inventive wrestling chants.
Oh, don't worry, the Dragon chants will be coming out later during the main event. You can believe.
You got two opportunities as Whisker Savage get a drop kick from behind on Andrea Dalka, hitting her, in the back of the shoulders. I usually call kicks to the spine, fucking unnecessary.
Kicks to the spine? But yeah, but if a person's spine is broke, they obviously can't compete. You'll win the match.
Yeah, but it's like the worst way to win a match. It's like, yeah, I won, but oh.
I also made a quadriplegic out of my opponent. Yeah, I know, it's a moral issue. It's an ethical thing. Me, I have no morals or ethics, so it's all good.
It's like if you're fighting a guy, it's like, I'm glad I won, but I'm kind of sorry I broke his jaw. As Mr. Savage managing to take the flow of this match back into her own hands, as she grabs Andrew, it's kind of, whoa, stacked up on that powerbomb. We got a pin. We got a 3. We have a 3. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner via pinfall and new SLCW Women's Champion, Whiskers Savage.
All right, 3 down, 2 to go. We talked in the last one about the incumbent's curse and Whisker Savage being the first to grab a title today. So congratulations, Kitty. She can take that back, rolling some catnip and celebrate, no doubt.
Oh, indeed. So far, we've had retains, we've had people taking belts off the champions. It's a bit more of a mixed bag than our last pay-per-views, and it just all comes down to if I can retain my dignity by not getting beaten in the War Games match.
Well, you know how the War Games match goes. It's anybody's bet. Anything can happen, and I smell the stench of cheap American cigar. I only smoke Cubans myself. Standing next to me, that must mean that my Uncle Vincent's out here to handle the reffing duties for the rest of the show. Say hi to Uncle Vincent, everybody.
Good afternoon, Uncle Vincent. I think this is about time for me to take my leave and go and prepare for my match while I still have time.
While I'm waiting on my new commentary partner to come by, I will make a few announcements, folks. DCWF is non-for-profit. If you like what you see here and you want to help us out, the DCWF, the orange donation box behind me is affectionately known as that ass. If you want to show us a little Linden love and keep us going here at the DCWF, make sure you tap that ass. And so far we've had 3 great matches. Quick recap for you in our first match. It was Heidi Himmel versus, excuse me. Heidi Himmel versus Nina Prater for the DCWF Women's Championship. Heidi Himmel retaining. In the second match, Ari Mystic and Tara Duffield challenging for the DCWF Tag Team Championships. Ace Nightfire and Kendra Chemistry retaining that one. And in our last match, Whisker Savage, who's joining me at the table, captures Shiny, the SLCW Women's Championship. Whiskers, congratulations. She's a woman of few words, and we're ready to get into the men's SLCW action, ladies and gentlemen. This next match is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the men's SLCW Championship. Introducing first the challenger from Houston, Texas, weighing in at 280 pounds, the phenomenal Jamal Travis. And his opponent from Elm Street, weighing in at 218 pounds, he is the SLCW champion, Jack O'Lantern. All right, here we go. Both competitors in the ring. Jack O'Lantern, look, this is his season. It's Christmas to him, if you will. And this is what he does. This is who he is. He gets in the ring and defends that title successfully each and every time he's ever stepped in the ring to defend it. And he had a match not too long ago with Jamal Travis, and Jamal damn near beat him. So clearly Jack Leonard is on his toes today, but he clearly is the scariest motherfucker in the game right now. Wouldn't you agree, Kitty?
Well, I know he's got the best theme music in all of the DCWF, if not all of SL Wrestling. Oh my God. And there is the bell. This match is underway. Jamal, though, has impressed me greatly. I remember way back, you like to talk about way back in the day? I remember way back in the day, I thought he was unteachable. I admitted I was head of training, and I did not see the potential in the young man. Almost let him slip away, but he is back. He is with us, and I think he has a good shot at taking this.
Yeah, well, he's got all the skills and all the talent in the world. You can take young talent, you bring them into the ring, and they get a head full of steam, and you know, they don't want to listen to the wisdom of those above them, and I've seen that from him a little bit, but the further he goes and the longer he makes his bones and the more ring time he gets, you know, the wiser he becomes and the better he becomes, and you know, and hopefully that attitude, that strength, that vision is enough to combat the crazy that is Jack O'Lantern, because the man's just nuts.
Indeed, Jack O'Lantern, he has definitely surprised me too, just coming out of nowhere. I don't even know if we trained him. He just showed up and just started busting heads, taking names, and grabbed that belt. Got some chain wrestling going on here.
Jack O'Lantern, definitely a graduate of our training program, DCWF's the show. And folks, if you're in the audience and you're not in the business and you want to be a wrestler, outside, out front are applications. And if you fill out your application, turn it in, and you know, we like what we see, and we usually do like what we see. We'll bring you into our training program, and we'll get you set up, and you too can find yourself in a DCWF pay-per-view such as this, such as War Games, Jacko and Jamal. You know, kind of starting out pedestrian, your textbook match. Neither one of them really has a textbook style, and an Irish whip from Jack O'Lantern sending Jamal over to the ropes and out of the ring. Jamal taking a minute to get out of there and catch his breath. I think he realizes he's in the ring with the stuff of nightmares right now as he faces the SLCW Men's Champion, Jack O'Lantern.
Well, I still think I could take Jamal, but I'm not sure if I could take Jack O'Lantern. I mean, it'd be a matter of who's scarier, I think, and he might just be scarier than me. Although I am a black cat, very unlucky.
You are pretty scary, though. You are pretty scary. Jamal, you are pretty scary though, Kitty. Jamal taking some time out now, trying to catch his breath. You know, Uncle Vincent working on that count right now. Jack O'Lantern just relishing in the fact that in just the opening minutes of this match, he has gotten into the head of his opponent. That's Jack O'Lantern's strategy. It's his mind game. He wants you to be scared of him, and a lot of folks are. I'll see him walking down the hallway, other members of the roster coming the opposite way, and they will literally jump to the other side of the hallway so that they don't have to get that close to him. This guy is scary. He knows how to get into your head. He is a master psychologist in the ring. I don't know if that's really his hair color, if that's his face, if it's body paint, whatever it is. He's definitely made his mark here in the DCWF. Jamal Travis, you know, is trying to shake off the willies here in this Halloween season as he gets to face Mr. Halloween himself, Jack O'Lantern. And we are, you know, we are having a very odd start to this. I think Jamal came in with a strategy, and I think it got blown here in the first few seconds, and Jamal may have to wing it.
It's up to an 8 already. Jamal had better get back in the ring or lose his chance at this belt.
Or maybe this is all part of Jamal's strategy. Maybe this is part of Jamal's strategy to let Jacko think he's really terrified of him and get Jacko in a comfortable place and turn the tides on him. I don't know. I'm done trying to figure either of these two guys out.
Well, Jamal back in the ring, and really, if you take away Jacko's scary disguise, Jamal is a full head taller. He's got the height advantage. I wasn't paying attention when you mentioned the weight. I was still thinking about my new belt. So pretty. Here we go, an collar elbow tie up in the middle of the ring here. Both men a test of strength.
Well, I'm looking at the stats here, and Jamal has 5 inches and 62 pounds on the champion, but that does not stop the champion from winning his matches. He's beaten Jamal before. Like I said, Jamal took him to the limit, but he was able to come out victorious. Jamal now putting in that wrist lock, trying to keep things at a slow pace reversal there from Jack Leonard, and I think Jamal finally got his head on right, and now he's ready to compete.
Ooh, a nasty elbow right between his shoulder blades, but Jamal is punching his way out of that wrist lock.
Jacko firing in with a couple elbows. When Jacko entered, he hits his finishing moves. Very rarely have I seen anybody get up from him. He's just a very creepy, very methodical dude. Spine buster, Jamal, and Jacko Leonard, the champion, is on the mat. Jamal has a small window of opportunity here to get his shit together and take it to the champion. He's going for that early pin. One count only. Jacko gets that shoulder up.
That is another scary thing about Jacko Lantern is that I don't know if anyone has managed to keep him down. Maybe back in the show, but since he's got that belt, he has been unstoppable. He may have, I don't know if he has black magic on his side. I mean, he could actually be...
Big tilt-a-whirl backbreaker from Jack O'Leonard there, and there was recently a Facebook poll on the DCWF Facebook page, in which DCWF wrestler should have been hired by the WWE to take the Undertaker streak, and it was Jack O'Leonard, 57 to damn near none for everybody else that was in that poll. So thankfully the WWE doesn't have an eye for talent and didn't hire Jack O'Leonard away from us. Nobasaki, this was back before WrestleMania.
I don't know of this WWE of which you speak, but there's Jamal with a massive Irish whip, and it looked like he attempted another spine buster with Jack reversing it into an unlucky 13. Actually, 13's always been one of my lucky numbers.
Well, it was your lucky number today, I guess. I don't know, because you got shiny and a pin attempt there, 2 count only, as Jamal gets that shoulder up, getting caught in that unlucky 13th. I talked about the devastating, signature and finisher maneuvers of Jack O'Lantern, and that unlucky 13th is one of them.
Oh, a nasty face stretch. I sure know how that feels. Although not with boots like that on. Jack-o'-lantern appears to be thoroughly in control of this match. Jamal had better think of something and think of something fast. And he did. Oh my god. Ooh, oh, and another move. I'm all too familiar with the spider twist. Jamal just has Misaki. Has Jack-o'-lantern all tied up. So I just see the spider twist, and I can't think of anything but Misaki. Ooh, still some shivers down my spine. And Jack-o'-lantern has got to figure out how to break that hold. Lord knows I never did. Checking on Jack, he does not appear to be tapping. Oh, and here we go with the trick or tap. Hold of his own. Just how did he get out of that spider twist? I'm gonna have to go back and watch the tape. He's got that move wrenched in tight. Jamal not tapping. He actually appears to be dragging Jack maybe towards the rope. He is dragging Jack-o'-lantern backwards towards the ropes. His feet are on the ropes. And he is calling for the referee to start the 5 count. Jack-o'-lantern is still wrenching that move in. He is not letting go until the ref starts counting. And here we go. 1, 2. He's got till 4 to break that hold. 3, 4. And it looks like he did break the hold. Jamal sliding out of the ring here to catch his breath for a moment. Jack-o'-lantern already back up to his feet. Even after being in the spider twist, even after doing the trick or tap. I don't know if Jack-o'-lantern is alive. That gray skin, I don't know. He creeps me out. I'm going to go ahead and say it. He does creep me out. Jamal back up to his feet. And the count up to his shoulder.
Ooh, I think I'm back.
Oh, did all the chance of I'm going to go take a leak and put some ideas in my head or something. And a suicide dive over the top rope. Jamal countering it. That's incredible. I've never seen a suicide dive countered with a punch. Jamal definitely has a lot more in him to show us, and I can't wait. Jack-o'-lantern is still down on his back after that Swiss of death. Jamal catching his breath. I think even Jamal is impressed with himself there.
Jamal connecting the fist to the top of the head of Jack-o'-lantern in the middle of that suicide dive was enough to change the momentum, and Jamal tossing Jacko back in that ring. For as much fun as I'm sure they're having on the outside, this match can only be won inside the ropes, and that's where they're heading now. Jamal with a clear advantage. He has an opportunity now to clean it up. He has an opportunity to bring it home, and this is where we separate the men from the boys, if you will.
And there's the pin. 1, 2. Jack-o'-lantern though getting that shoulder up again. He is scary. I think it's going to take a few more tricks of Jamal's own. to get Jack-o'-lantern down and keep him down.
Jack-o'-lantern, go ahead.
Well, Jamal's stalking him.
Jack-o'-lantern in serious danger of losing that title if Jamal can keep this momentum up. Jamal heading to him, and he goes for that spear, and Jack-o'-lantern moves out of the way, and Jamal right in to the steel post by the turnbuckles, and this one is taking a turn for the worse. Jamal's shoulder plants right into that thing. Jack-o'-lantern just enjoying his work now, looking at his opponent, damn near smiling over the pain and devastation he's caused. He might have dislocated Jamal's shoulder with that little stunt.
I don't know if he hit the turnbuckle or the post, but those turnbuckles are not very well padded. He has gotten back up, but he looks a little dazed. He doesn't realize he's being stalked. Ooh, and here we go, the All Hallows End.
Head right into the mat. Here's the pin count. One. Was that only a one count, as Jamal has just enough in him to get that shoulder up, his hurt shoulder at that. Digging down deep in places. The pain has got to be excruciating, and Jack-o'-lantern now has gone from toying with his opponent to the point where he really wants to hurt him. You could see it in his eyes.
Well, this is the first time anyone has kicked out of the All Hallows Inn. This could be a big upset for Jack-o'-lantern psychologically. I mean, Jamal being the first one to break that hold after almost beating Jacko 2 weeks ago.
Run, bitch! Run!
And a massive spear out of nowhere.
Jamal running in, finally connecting, putting the referee out of the way as well, from out of nowhere with that spear. And here's the pin. Vincent trying to get over for the count, but no, 1, 2 count only as Jack-o'-lantern gets up, and this one continues. Both of these men have thrown it all at each other. The All Hallows in, the big spear, and neither one of them able to get the final nail in the coffin, if you'll forgive the Halloween pun there. And this one continues, and it's just devastation and pandemonium in the ring, and we haven't even gotten to the War Games match yet.
Now, Jamal is the first one back up to his feet. He's got Jack-o'-lantern right where he wants him. He's got that front face lock locked in. It looks like Jamal seems he seems extremely confident as he goes with the jackhammer, but did it connect?
Jack-o'-lantern able to throw an elbow in there, and another All Hallows in. 2, 3, ladies and gentlemen, here is your winner, and still the SLCW Men's Champion, Jack-o'-lantern. All right, there you see it, fans. The War Games cage, it is coming down. And as you can easily see, there's a reason that this is my favorite match of all time in the history of wrestling matches. 6 men, 2 cages, or 2 rings, 1 cage, no way out. Here's the rules of the War Games match in case your ass didn't know. I better call somebody. Here's how it works. Both teams come out. 2 men start in the ring, 1 from each team, and every 3 minutes a new member from one of the other teams will go into the ring. The match cannot officially be won until all men are in the ring. The match cannot win by pinfall. It cannot be won by countout. It can only be won by somebody giving up. Either I quit or tapping out. The referee has a very, very easy job. He just has to wait for somebody to throw in the towel. This is War Games only at the DCWF. Are you motherfuckers ready? Yes, fool, you got to be in there with them. You got to check and see if somebody gives up. Ladies and gentlemen, this next match is your main event, and it is War Games. Introducing first, the Team of Supremacy. From Naples, Italy, he is Mr. Mafioso William Naples. His tag team partners are the sexiest man alive, Ravishing Rock Reynolds, and the General Pietro Shelford.
Gillholes, douchebags, cheaters, supremacy.
Really? Drama queen.
And their opponents from Boston, Massachusetts, weighing in at 268 pounds, Marcus Raymond. And from Nottingham, England, weighing in at 245 pounds, he is the Hardcore Dragon, Mad Mike Freeman. And from Swansea, Wales, weighing in at 198 pounds, the Celtic Dragon, Mythal Wysek. All right, here we go. Doors on either side of the cage. Everybody's lined up and ready to go. And it looks like Marcus Raymond and Mr. Mafioso, William Naples, will be starting this one off. Now remember, the match cannot be won until all 6 men are in the ring. And here we go. The timer starts at 3 minutes. And let's do this. And they're going at it. There's no disqualification in this kind of match. The cage is solid. It will not break. And Marcus Raymond with a big clothesline, putting Mr. Mafioso on the ground. Big Marcus Raymond making huge noise as he's coming to the DCWF and physically just muscled his way up the ranks. Finds himself in this match here standing alongside the Hardcore Dragon and the DCWF World Heavyweight Champion, former World Heavyweight Champions Pietro Shelford in this match, current Cruiserweight Champion Rock Reynolds. This is the best that the DCWF has to offer. 2 rings, 6 men's, 1 cage. Good God, I'm excited.
I hope someone grabs someone, preferably from Supremacy, and drags their face along the cage. That would be so cool. Marcus, do that now.
All right, we should also mention that a coin toss happened backstage before this match, and Team Supremacy won, so they will have the opportunity to put their man in the ring first, making it 2-on-1 action for a couple minutes as the next team waits its opportunity, and these guys chomping at the bit here to get into this match. We've done this match twice in the DCWF before, and it is unpredictable. Anything can happen, and Supremacy cheering on Mr. Mafioso on the outside of the ring. Big gut buster from Marcus Raymond, who's manhandling Mr. Mafioso right now. Lots of attacks from Rock Reynolds and Mr. Mafioso and Marcus Raymond in past weeks. Like for Marcus, I know for sure this is a little bit personal. Big power bomb. They're throwing it out in the beginning. The idea is to weaken the other team and get them ready to be in a position to quit or submit or whatever. We have just about 60 seconds to go before the next entrance, and it looks like Team Supremacy has selected Pietro to go in next. He's ready and waiting at the door, and once all 6 men are in the ring, this thing turns into pandemonium, folks. Believe me, it is not a pretty sight. It is unbelievable. Carnage, chaos, and ropes tend to get headlocked in matches like these. Just saying.
And Mr. Mafioso now putting the boot to Marcus's throat, but again, no disqualifications unless Marcus submits or taps or quits. Right there.
Yep, he can't do it till all 6 are in the ring, and we are at 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and Pietro ready to go into the ring now. He has the green light, and Marcus Raymond is going to have to contend with both of these men for a time being. Marcus drops Mr. Mafioso out of the way, standing toe-to-toe with Merrick, and look, the General Pietro Shelford, honest to God, the most apathetic, uncaring, unforgiving, methodical, diabolical son of a bitch I have ever run across. And he is, quite honestly, the man to beat every time you step into the ring with him. Former World Heavyweight Champion in his own right, Marcus Raymond, shoved down to the mat. And we've got 2 minutes to go before the next person enters the ring. And I'm not sure who they've picked from the other side over there. They'll get in queue, and we'll see, though.
Well, I'm sure Mr. Mafioso is grateful for a chance here to catch his breath, maybe recover a little bit from that barrage of attacks from Marcus. Now, Marcus up against Pietro, but Pietro may be big, he may be strong, but Marcus also big and strong and fast. Oh, there's Pietro up on the ropes delivering punches to the head of Marcus. now laying in another throat choke for Marcus. This throat will be hurting him by the end of this match, no doubt.
He's taking the brunt of it right now, and he's got both Mr. Mafioso and the General contend with, at least until a teammate gets in the ring, and it looks like it's going to be Mad Mike. The Hardcore Dragon is in queue over on the other side of the cage over there, and he's just waiting for his opportunity, and we are about 50 seconds away from seeing the Hardcore Dragon, Mike Freeman, enter this match and set some shit off. It will even the score. Things will be even up, and Lord knows Mike Freeman wants to get his hands on Mr. Mafioso, and especially Ravishing Rock Reynolds. I don't think he's got a whole lot of personal beef with the General, but I know he's got it out for Rock and Marcus, or I'm sorry, Rock and William Naples, Mr. Mafioso.
Well, again, someone needs to remind Rock the match can't end until all 6 men are in the ring, but I guess you could still finish someone. What if one of them dies? Numbers.
As Ivan Drago once said, if he dies, he dies. And we're down to 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and Mike is cleared to go into the ring. The Hardcore Dragon chomping at the bit on the outside. He gets his in. Rock Reynolds heading over there he's obviously the next man in for Team Supremacy, and the Hardcore Dragon in the ring. Little double team action, double suplex for Marcus Raymond off the top, and Marcus Raymond might be out of action for a while, but both Pietro and Mr. Mafioso taking a bit of that as well, and they've got to stumble to their feet. There goes the Hardcore Dragon. He's in it now, getting his hands on Mr. Mafioso, who was paid a few weeks back to personally take him out. I don't know that contract went through because Mad Mike is still standing. The General Pietro Shelford. There he goes. Spine buster. Mad Mike cleaning house. Marcus and finally making it to his feet. Marcus and Mike standing tall. Each of them about to grab somebody and let it happen. Rock Reynolds waiting for his turn. He's got about 2 minutes left before he's allowed into the thing, and then it becomes 3-on-2, and then in 3 minutes after that, the DCWF World Heavyweight Champion Mithil Wojcik gets to step into the ring, and it's going to be carnage, and somebody's going to have to quit this match. Somebody's going to have to give up. We could be here till 5 o'clock SLT waiting on one of these tough son of a bitches to give the match up.
Well, you talk about how cold, cruel, and pitiless the General is, but so is Mad Mike, and he is not afraid to hurt people. I don't know if there are weapons available, since this is a no DQ match, but if there were, there would be blood for sure. There would be blood all over both of these rings, and none of it would be Mad Mike's, unless he hit himself in the head with the chair to psych himself up as he's wanting to do.
Mad Mike tossing Rock over the double set of ropes and into the other ring, just picking him up and tossing him like a rag doll. Lots of action going on here. Pietro trying to contend with Big Marcus Raymond. Mad Mike having his way with Mr. Mafioso, and we are about 30 seconds away from Rock Reynolds cutting teeth, chomping at the bit. This door out here waiting to get in to this sumbitch. I talked to Rock. I said, how do you feel about War Games? It's the most grueling match in wrestling history, especially in the history of the DCWF, and he only had 2 words for me. He said, bring it. He's the sexiest man alive, so he claims. I hope he doesn't take a face to the cage and mess up his moneymaker, and we are down to 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and Rock Reynolds has the green light to get into the ring, and he's taking his time. He's picking his side right there. Both of his teammates are down right now. Oh, and he shoves Mithil out of the way and onto the floor as Mythel tries to take his cue. Mythel taking hits early, and he's not even in the match yet. Kitty, I hope we're paid up on our insurance.
Insurance? Oh. We'll see. Anyway, I think if anyone should take a cage to the face, it should be Rock Reynolds, and my Mad Mike should deliver it. That's what I want to see. That is what ooh, but look at this. Oh, with snake eyes from Mike off the cage. I have never seen that. Well, that's messed up Merrick's moneymaker for sure. Merrick was that bad.
And you have no kind of bias in this match at all, do you? None whatsoever.
Well, Suprema, most of the so-called heels around here, I think, are pretty swell people. But Supremacy, I don't know. They just give me the creeps, kind of like Ebola.
And Rock Reynolds slamming Marcus's head into the turnbuckle over there. Oh, Mr. Mafioso with a kick, pinning Mad Mike up against the cage 1 minute to go. Till we get us some Mythel. Worth pointing out, everybody in here at one point, except for Marcus Raymond, has held a DCWF title. Marcus Raymond with DCWF gold in his sights, ravishing Rock Reynolds' current cruiserweight champion. Mythel on the outside there, waiting to get in. DCWF World Heavyweight Champion. You can see the look on his face. He's eager to get in there. He has got a score to settle with these guys, especially with the likes of Pietro. Big spinning kick from Marcus Raymond. Rock out of the way of it, though. Rock whatever you think about him, he's pretty solid. He knows what's going on in the ring, and that's 2 kicks he's dodged from Marcus Raymond thus far, and these guys just going at it. Looks like Mad Mike getting double-teamed over there by Supremacy, by Mr. Mafioso, and the General. I'm having trouble keeping up with this one. There's just so much action going on in this ring, action that you will not see anywhere else in Second Life Wrestling. On the grid, 20 seconds away from Mythel now, and he is loaded up and ready, and once he gets in there, and once that cage closes behind him, this match can officially be won, and we're counting it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and Mythel is cleared with the green light, and here he goes. Once that door shuts, this match can officially be won. Vincent Rossini, the easiest job in the house tonight. There goes Mythel off the ropes, over into the next ring, and lays out Mr. Mafioso with that missile drop kick. Mythel Wojciech, no stranger to the air. There's only so much distance he can get with that cage being up there, but this is now a 3-on-3 match, and I have a feeling it's going to get bloody from here.
Mythel, of course, one of our more agile high flyers, but I think he is also, at least in the past, he's been a very technical wrestler. I think he could make probably anyone in this ring submit or tap out or quit. Just quit. And I do remember, Marcus is new. Marcus is fairly new to the roster still, in my opinion, compared to all these old guys. But I remember when Mythel and Mike both were heels. They may have seen some kind of light. They may be like magic luck dragons now instead of evil dragons. I don't know, but it's still fun to watch them fight, and I would like to see them take it to Supremacy. I especially want to see someone drag that quote-unquote pretty face of Rocks across that fence. I am dying to see that. I'd better see that from one of these dragons.
Rock Reynolds, top of his game right now, cruiserweight champion, on top of the world, managed to beat anybody and everybody that gets in his way, and he's formed some very, very smart and strategic alliances with Mr. Mafioso and the General. All 3 of these men very, very dangerous, but their opponents, look, I gotta tell you, I've been in the ring with Mythel, I've been in the ring with Mike, and in a lot of ways, that's a place I don't ever want to go again. Marcus Raymond has nothing but my respect for the work he's been able to do here so far, and he's got a bright future here, but these guys now, Oh, big. I don't even know what they call that, but Marcus just taken down by Mr. Mafioso. Mr. Mafioso can fly with the best of them. He reminds me of a young Baza Winlow and a young Jericho's Garbage. Hell, even a young Lithal Wojciech, now that I think about it.
Well, maybe it'll take a high flyer to ground a high flyer, although right now it looks like Mr. Mafioso is tied up with Marcus. And these two, Marcus and Mr. Mafioso, have been in the ring the longest. You would think they would both be, leaning up against a turnbuckle, taking a breather, but no, they are still at it. They are still at each other's throats. I think you were right when you said it's personal, and I don't think either one of them is. They could go till 5 o'clock. They could go to 5 o'clock SLT. It's probably already 5 o'clock where you're at, but they can.
Yeah, I was about to say it's 13 after 5 over here on the East Coast, baby. But yeah, these guys going at it. I talked with most of them, before the show, before the match, and all of them understand the stakes here. They understand what a potentially career-ending match this is. Big fall-away slam from Marcus Raymond. He's into working against. Mr. Mafioso right now, who could rebound and get off them ropes like nobody's business, but Marcus Raymond with the strength advantage, if he can keep Mr. Mafioso down, he might have it sewn up. I'm looking over in the other ring. I see the General and Mike both on the mat, just both down. They've taken each other to that limit, and another rebound crossbody from Mr. Mafioso into some kind of spinning Hurricane Rana. It's so much action to try and cover here, try and call right now. Maybe we should have hired 6 commentators to help us with this son of a bitch.
Well, Mythal with Rock in that abdominal stretch. Oh, Rock just reversed it, though. The Mythal, up until now, though, has been taking it to Rock. Rock finally turning it around. But, yeah, both Mike and Pietro are huge guys. And they probably will wear out a little faster. But so far, neither of them said they've quit. They may be taking a breather, but they haven't quit. I like that. I like that about both of them. Very, very strong men.
Referee Vincent Rossini looking for that opportunity to see somebody, say the words "I quit" or tap. We haven't seen a whole lot of submission wrestling going on here. This has quite honestly been, more of a street fight, than it has a traditional wrestling match. And the referee deciding he's not quitting in this one. And a kick, just a frenzy of kicks from Rock Reynolds there, right to the head of Mythal Wojciech. Rock Reynolds, if he ever retires from wrestling, could totally be a Tai Bo instructor the way he's got his legs up there.
Well, Mad Mike is back up on his feet, and he's getting in the other ring. So now it is 3-on-2 against Supremacy in the right-hand ring there. Pietro hasn't said yet that he's quit, but he's not getting up. Do knockouts count as submissions or quitting?
Nope. You either have to say the words "I quit" or you have to tap, tap, tap. And that's why this match is so brutal. You have to bring somebody to that point. And, Mythal got that submission hold locked in on Rock Reynolds right now, and got that one-legged Boston Crab, it looks like, or whatever it is that he's got locked in. Vincent Rossini going over there to check. Rock Reynolds might tap out for Team Supremacy right here, give up the match. He's holding on, but he won't. And this is the thing, the rope break won't help you. Dragging, getting your opponent to the rope, or, getting a rope break in there will not help you. This is not that kind of situation. All traditional rules are out the window. And, big rebound crossbody from Mr. Mafioso. This dude, he's like the flying, the Flying Naples. He should be a circus act, this guy. He's all over the place. Kitty, I gotta tell you, I'm glad I'm not in there. How about you?
Did you see that kick just knocking Mythel off of Rock and breaking that hold? He's got both dragons down. Mr. Mafioso is, I gotta say, I may be changing my opinion on Supremacy just because Mr. Mafioso's been in this ring the longest and he is still at it.
He's pretty much the only guy on his feet right now. Marcus Raymond and Pietro Shelford in the other ring out big. Holy cow.
He just bounded off of Rock, using Rock as a springboard to hit Mythel. That's teamwork.
As my good friend Ivan Halfpint would say, what a move!
What a move indeed.
And now it looks like all hell is breaking loose. Marcus Raymond in there with the General, but Rock and Mr. Mafioso having their way with the DCWF World Heavyweight Champion over there in the corner. Mike Freeman powerless to do anything about it. They could easily choke the champion into submission here. I'm glad he's not a chicken gimmick, because I would have said they could easily choke the chicken into submission, and that would have been very inappropriate. And Rock and Mr. Mafioso taking it. Go ahead.
Well, I'm surprised they both let up on Mythel's throat like that. I would have kept my boots on his throat until he quit or, well, passed out and then moved on to someone else. Marcus back up to his feet, though, and it looks like he's in a lockup. No, my mistake. But he's got Pietro Shelford, the General, in a lockup now, a wrist lock into a hammer lock.
And back to the double teaming as that Irish whip sends Mythel right into the knee of ravishing Rock Reynolds. It's probably a little bit of decent strategy on the part of Mr. Mafioso and Rock to back off, because this match is all about longevity. You know, it's about longevity, and Mythel Wojciech not going to give up soon. He's getting double teamed. Finally, Mad Mike to his feet, one boot sending Mr. Mafioso down. I don't think Rock knows Mike is standing behind him, and the tides may turn. The double teaming may stop. And Mythel Wojciech with that move he likes to call the Rain of Fire, and Mike getting in it as well. What?
Oh my God! It looks like in the
What?
confusion, Mad Mike just did a big boot on Mythel. Oh, no.
Mike and Mythel put Rock away, and Mike turns and puts a boot to the back of the head of the DCWF World Heavyweight Champion. What the hell is he doing?
Wait, that has to be a mistake. Oh my God! I think Mad Mike isn't getting enough oxygen in that mask, or he is truly mad.
And Mad Mike just dropping Mythel Wojciech on his head, and he heads over to the other side of the ring, plants a boot to the face of Marcus Raymond, and that allows for Rock to lock in the Boston Crab, and Merrick to add insult to injury just by stepping on the back. And Mad Mike has completely jumped the tracks. He has gone off the grid, off the rails, and now just takes a perch over by the ropes. I
knew deep down inside, Michael's a heel still. I think he's the new ultimate opportunist. He sees which way the tide's turning, and I think he's just cruel. You thought Pietro was cruel. Mad Mike is cruel.
But why, Mike? Why? This was locked up. This was sewn up. This was Team DCWF's day.
Oh, Playtech says he quit. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner by I Quit Supremacy.
Heel holes, douchebags, cheaters, supremacy.
And the auditorium is just silent as we're trying to figure out what was going through Mad Mike's head, if anything.
You trap mouth ass heifer.
So many questions left unanswered. What is going through the mind of Mad Mike? There was some talk about money. Was he paid? Is he a member of Supremacy, or is he an independent contractor? What the hell is going on? All I know is that just when I thought that the Team DCWF had this thing sewn up and in the bag, Mad Mike Freeman does a stunt like this. It makes me want to go to the locker room, dust off the man panties, and get back in the ring. Folks, I don't know what to tell you. Check us out on Facebook, Digital Championship Wrestling Federation. Join the fan group. We have so many questions that I know I need answered, and I know you need answered. And this is not at all what I expected from this War Games match or anything like that. But we want to take the time and thank you for coming out. Join us Wednesday night as DCWF presents Mischief Night. Anything goes. We got costumes, we got tricking, we got treat, and we got some crazy matches. We got a lot of stuff planned for you. Make sure you come Wednesday night, 3 p.m. SLT. Check us out. Kitty, we got to get up to the office. We got some shit we got to figure out.
Indeed, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of my commentating partner here, the commissioner, Numbers Rosini, and our officials tonight, Dick Witham and Vincent Rossini, thank you for coming out to War Games. If you liked what you saw, hit up the orange donation box. And again, we do have a fan group you can join. Anyone here can give you a tag. Just say, hey, give me a fan tag. I'm not too upset about this. I got shiny, so it's a good day for me.
This video was filmed on location by Zarrakan Productions. Zarrakan Productions is an umbrella group for many YouTube shows and businesses both inside and outside of Second Life. Please go to Zarrakan.com for a complete listing of shows and businesses associated with Zarrakan Productions and their own media links. Zarrakan Productions shows have been organized alphabetically in playlists in a year, month, day format for easier video navigation. Multiple part videos have been named accordingly, starting with part 1, and the last video of a multiple part video series will have end as a part of its title. Please like, comment, and share this video as it helps both Zarrakan Productions and the creators of this video's content. Also, be sure to check the playlists for past episodes of show content, and subscribe to this channel for future videos. Thank you for watching, and happy wandering.